Good morning, YouTube. How you guys doing today? Kevin here, coming at you with another video. Okay, I've already done a video on how to do a clutch. However, this is the project that we're building with the side case, so I'm just going to do this again and throw it on here as we're doing this build. Sometimes they get a little repetitive, but different camera angles allow you to see different things that I do, and you might notice some of the stuff I do differently as opposed to like American and what do you call it there, UK bikes. Okay, so this is the engine right here. The transmission was locked up in. We got that all fixed. We're now in the process of putting it all together. This is a ke100 motor, and we're going to use this on a KM. We're going to convert this to a KM or a KD100 motor. Both are the same. So we're not going to put the cover on today. We're just going to put the clutch on real quick, get that whole thing situated in there. So right now we're going to rub down the what do you call it there, all the components for it, and clean it up and put these all back together. What I'm working on right now is the shifter. Make sure it's nice and clean when it goes back in. We don't want no debris on it, or debris. Okay. Use some of our trusty Permatex Ultra Slick on it. Really just up where it's going to ride. Don't need to go nuts with it, just throw it in a little bit. Okay, kind of walk it in. Okay. Now right here you'll see this pin. Let's see if I can expand this up for you. There is a pin right here, and on the shifter there's two springs right here. They go right. That pin goes right in the middle of the two springs. If you have to tap on this, there's a problem. Don't do it. Then up in here, see if right here, this is the drum. This piece right here, just pull it down and it locks underneath of it, like so. And that's it. That's all there is to the shifter. And then the shifter will go back and forth and change gears. Okay. So now we've installed that. Just gonna put a screwdriver here. Just rotate a little bit. Make sure it. Yep. Okay. Good. Making sure it's got plenty of clearance in there. Push that down, and that's pretty much it for the shifter lever. Okay. So remember, the pin goes in between the two springs. It should slide right in, and then this little lever right here goes in between the first with all the pins. Second part we're going to install, and I always use the lube just because the engine's dry. On it you have a thrust washer right here that goes on first over the two little dogs that are right there. Then after that I'm just wiping stuff up as I go. And then you have a spring. Make sure there's no debris in the spring. Just a regular spring, and that goes over first like that. Then you have the boom, 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 the drum. Okay. Basically, it's just a real big clutch drum. Let's see if I can. Oh, I'll get you back here. Try to shrink it down a little bit. This thing is very hard to operate. Here we go. All right. Clean that down. Make sure there's no debris on it. And this is the clutch. Center of the spring. There are two dogs right here. Okay, you see them how I rotate them around. They fit into the grooves right here. Just like that. Okay, it's going to want to spring itself back up. Nothing you can do about that at this point. And then you have one more thrust washer. Right here is the small one. It's the thicker of the two. Fits right on there. Okay. Then we have our clutch assembly here. We're going to take this all apart. Wipe it up as we go. And inspect. Okay, that is that one. Then we have the top and the bottom. Okay, this is the spring part right here. These are the pressure plates and all that. Okay, that goes in first, like so. Then it basically is 3 plates and clutches. Okay, well, we're not going to use the old clutches. We're going to use these new ones right here that you saw in one of my other videos. And there are 4 of them. These have already been impregnated with oil. So we're going to throw our clutch in first. These are going to fit a little snug in there because they're new. Okay. Then it's going to receive a disc. We're inspecting it. And I'm already seeing heating. See how it's all blue and discolored? We are no longer going to use this. I'll be right back. I'll go grab some more plates. Alright, I'm back. Had to grab another clutch assembly. Just grabbed the whole other one. If you see the bluing on the plates, that means it had excessive heat. And I don't trust excessive heat. Basically, all it does is it wears out the clutches. They could be warped. And then if you're going to have an incorrect clutch adjustment, it's just not a good idea. So if you have bluing on your plates, buy new steel plates. It's just so much easier and more reliable. I have a few good clutches, so I'm not complaining about it. Wow, that plate's really warped. Look at that one. That's concaved. Clutcher's junk. Alright. When all else fails, I'll go grab another one. Alright, so I had to grab another clutch assembly. Because I'm not replacing with new plates unless I absolutely have to. This is not for an on-road bike. This motor is going to be for an off-road bike. So I'm really not too worried about it. But I like to do things the proper way. And if I can't do them properly, it really is not worth doing at all. So that's why I do these videos. Show you guys proper tools, techniques, and what to look for. So I don't want to put parts into a bike that is not no good, you know what I mean? Especially when you have a new clutch. New clutch on burnt plates, it's just kind of ridiculous. I'll just throw a whole burnt clutch on there. So yeah, you're basically looking for discoloration on your discs, on your plates. and going that route with them. Okay, 12 springs out. Oh yeah, these are good. Okay, good. Alright, just separate them all. This clutch is stuck. Stuck from sitting. Which does happen. Time to time. Oh yeah, that's a nice plate. Nice plate. Alright. So, grab it, inspect it, clean it if we have to. Look at that, see? See how it looks? That's a nice plate. Okay. Alright. Then we'll add a new disc. A new clutch goes on there really tight because nothing's worn out on it. Okay. We'll separate another plate. It's a good clutch on that thing too. Yep, these are good. Okay. Then another disc. Then another plate. Like I said, I don't mind using the new old plates as long as they're not all deteriorated and beaten and battered and look like heck. Okay. Just like so. Say it ain't so. There we go. Let's clean this up, inspect the drive. This actually looks good. There was no markings on this one, so it really don't matter which way it goes. So now I got that whole clutch pack part right there like that. Okay. Beautiful. Thing of beauty right there. Okay. That should be fitting right in there like so. Alright. Then there is another thrust washer. Goes in there first. And then the snap ring. To install snap ring, you need special snap ring pliers made by Astro. These tools are here. And the part number for that is, get that off there for you in case you need to buy one. Made by Astro 94014. Make sure it snaps in. Clutches are good. Okay. Then you install your 6 springs. Each one of the plates. Then you have your spring plate, or aka pressure plates. Which is right here, just a big washer with a 6 big little holes in it. And then what I'm going to do is put these, slot these on there. And make sure you got the trick too. And you can use this on any bolt on your bike with the trick I'm about to show you. So you have a longer bolt that you have to kind of like these, I have to screw these all the way in. And it's kind of a pain in the neck to do them with a ratchet because the ratchet doesn't clip back. You're going to like this trick. And you can use it on anything you're working on, just to get up to that point. Okay, so that is in there. These are 8mm heads. I take my impact driver and I put the socket on the impact driver. Now I have a screwdriver that I can wind them down in. I screw them down, even though I'm screwing them down with it. I'm only going with a, whatchamacallit. I'm laying them down evenly. And it's a lot easier than a ratchet. Get them to seat. Just screw them all in right now. Okay. Cuts the time in half when you have to wind these things down. Okay, so now all the plate is already screwed down. I just have to torque it. So I just take the socket back off. These are going to be torqued down to 3.5 foot-pounds. Most torque wrenches don't go down that low. You can go a little bit over on these. I torque them down to like 4 or 5. And that's okay with these. These are grade 8 bolts. So to hold this clutch, I have a Craftsman model number, part number 45532. It's a oil filter wrench, an adjustable one. Just pull the rubber down through. So what I do is I put that on my clutch. It's rubber, so it's not going to hurt anything. It's fully adjustable. Pull it nice and tight. And then I'm able to take my torque wrench and torque this down. When I'm torquing it down, I'm going in a crisscross pattern. I love using the oil filter wrench. It holds it nice and tight. You can also use this oil filter wrench when removing the what do you call it there, flywheel bolts, the flywheel nut, for when you're doing your points and you're changing your points. Okay, go one more time. Yep. Okay. You can see how I got that. That's pretty much it. Then just push it on the bottom, releases it, and that is how the clutch is all done. Right there. Pretty neat, huh? Okay, so the clutch is on, the pin snapped, you can hear the click. It's meshed up perfectly right there, and we are good to go. So that is how you do the clutch and what to look for. So if you're going to use an old clutch, you want to take a thickness measurement of it and see what your measurement is compared to the specifications on your machine, your bike. These clutches are all good, but I had a new set, so I wanted to throw a new set in, only because this is going on a, it's not like a parts motor, was a parts motor. It's actually a very good motor, clean up your gasket surface. And the only thing I have left to do before we do the cover is I have to replace that white sprocket, which I have one coming for it, because the one I thought I had is no good. So I'm going to replace the sprocket, and we'll put the side cover on with the new gasket. I actually believe I have the gasket. Yep, I got the gasket. Okay, so we got a new gasket for the clutch. That will go on there like so, and then this thing will be ready to go. So, pretty cool. Get her done. So, that's where we're at with this. We just got, and don't forget to put this on. This is very important. This is the little spacer right here that is for your oiler. Whenever you take these side covers off, sometimes they stick inside the cover. Make sure you have it with a clean O-ring, and you put it in right here, in case you wonder where it goes. Because when your oiler screws onto that side cover, that's where the oil goes through. So you have your seal here, and then you have your seal here, and those right there basically just hold them nice and tight, and make sure there's no leaks. So before you put the clutch together, you have to make sure you put your shifter in, make sure it's clean, that the spur where the shifter goes onto it is not all stripped out. If it is, now is the time to replace it. And you can't put it on with the clutch on. You have to make sure the clutch is off before you do that. So I'm very happy with the way this thing came out. This thing turns over nicely, and this is going to be a fun bike. Definitely going to be a fun bike. So, and you might notice I put it on top of the battery box again. I use the battery box to hold it up because the shaft can go all the way to the bottom without interfering. And always rotate them. And the reason why I say rotate them is because you can make sure that there's nothing grinding underneath. It just shows that you got them all in the right place. So on this ke100 motor, we replaced the clutch. We fixed the transmission. We put a new piece in there. And on my last video, I showed you on the transmission shaft, if you have a bike from the UK, you have the brass and the silver washer, you know, what do you call it, the thrust washers on top of the shaft. And I wanted to show you why that was, but I wasn't able to do that. On the American version of these motors, on the transmission shafts, grab that burnt one. Okay, on the transmission shaft, the American one has this brass bushing that goes into the casing. Okay, this is the one that's all worn out. You can see how much play it has. Okay, it's got a lot. It's really sloppy. And on the UK version, doesn't have the brass bushing. The UK versions have a roller bearing. Okay, I want to show you that, the roller bearing. So you need the thrust washer and the brass washer on it to give you the spacing you need. And what is that spacing I'm talking about? I'll show you what I do with that brass bushing. Here it is. On the brass bushing, it has this landing. This landing with these two are the same thickness, and that's why it would set your thing. And the reason why they're adjustable on the UK and not the American is the American ones are all the same thickness. The UK has different size shims, so that's why there's an adjustment for it on the side cover. If you have one in the the US one, there's no adjustment for it. It's got the plug, and that's that. The UK one, you adjust it until it just touches, and you have enough shaft play in and out. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So, I just wanted to touch base on that type of stuff with you, and that's all I have for you guys. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments on what I did, by all means, please send them my way. Once again, to hold the clutch, you can do this many different ways. The last time I showed you, I took a piece of string and I stuck it in between the two gears, and that jammed it, and that works pretty good. Make sure it's clean string. Don't use anything metal, but you can use an old shoelace and stick it in between and bunch it up, and that'll lock it right down for you. You can use a piece of rubber, stick it in there, and it won't move. I do that from time to time too. But I like to show different tips and tricks, and one of the ones I use recently is this old Craftsman, what do you call it there, oil filter wrench, and it literally holds it perfectly. Put that on it, pull it tight at the bottom, and you can use it on flywheels as well. And what I mean by that is, take your magneto, and you gotta take that bolt out. You can slip this right around there, and now you have a holder for it, and you can take it right out. Works pretty good. Unfortunately, you can't use it to torque it, because I mean, I think it'll be too much stress, you know, because it's 36 foot-pounds, so it might be a little bit too much for the oil filter wrench. However, it works pretty good taking it out. So, and for that right there, you could do the same thing. Take some string, throw it in the spark plug hole, wind it up to the top dead center, and it will hold it for you as well. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you have any questions, any comments. By all means, send them my way. And thanks for watching.